Happy Halloween. Did that sound like a Halloweeny or did that sound like Santa? Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. I don't know. Either way, I'm getting ahead of myself. It is not even September yet, but I'm excited. And I told y'all I am a basic bitch at heart. I really am. And honestly, I'm really excited because here we are and I'm going to do an episode about the fall, my favorite time of the year. Woo, woo, woo. Just like I told you guys, September 1st through January 1st is my favorite. You have all the best times. You just have fall in general. Love the autumn. It's my favorite time of the year. I love the orange leaves and the red leaves and the brown leaves. And it's just so beautiful. And the weather, if you're not living in, the Devil's Bum in Texas, it usually feels pretty good. It just has that vibe about it. The air is wonderful. Everything is great. And I love it. And then it goes straight into Halloween, which goes straight into Thanksgiving, which goes straight into Christmas, straight into the New Year. New Year's Eve celebrations are awesome. And then January 2nd gets here. And then I'm like depressed as hell. And I'm like, now what do I do till September? Basically. So that is my life. So yeah, I told you guys I was going to do a little episode about all of that, why it's my favorite time of the year, some of my traditions, and all of that good stuff. Now, I do understand that when this drops, it is going to be August 29th, so not even September yet. So I'm jumping the gun a little bit. But you know what? It has been like 109 here every day. Let me have my fun, my little cute little pumpkins and witches out there. So here we go. We're going to be celebrating early. It is basic bitch season.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
All right, let's start off with just some information. I'm not that happy to be here right now. Let me rant for a second. First of all, it is hot as balls in this studio. It is hot as balls in Texas. I saw an electrician here. I think that the AC might be out, or I think they're actually turning it off at certain times. So I know it's hot everywhere right now. Like, whether you believe in global warming or whatever you think this is, like, I don't know, but it is hot everywhere. And Texas is like the hottest. I swear to God, it is just miserable here. Every day, like, what is it specifically right now is 107 degrees. And it is 4 p.m., 107 degrees. It says it is 107. It feels like 111. Which is insane. And it's been like that every day for weeks and weeks and weeks. It is just crazy. And there's like no like time soon where this is going to go away. It looks like next week we have 3 days that the highs are like 95 to 98. And everybody is so excited for that. How sad is that we're excited for a break in the heat when the high is still 98? Like, that tells you how hot it has been here. Every single day we're getting an email. Everyone is getting emails from ERCOT. Which is like our electricity system here, saying, hey, everyone, you need to try to use as little electricity as you can from like this time to this time. And usually the times are like 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., which is just crazy. Like last night, it was still like 105 at like 8 p.m. or something. It's really out of hand. So it is almost September. It's just every year it seems to be getting worse and lasting longer. And this is just like the absolute epitome of like the worst it's ever been. So it definitely doesn't feel like fall here as far as the weather goes, which is a bummer. I really want a break in the heat. It's going to suck. We're going to a concert. I'm going to a concert a week from today. So next Saturday. And it's an outdoor concert. It's at the Cotton Bowl. I'm going to see Karol G. Woo! Bichota season. And it's supposed to be like, it is a little bit of a break. It's not going to be like 109 that day, but the high is 101 or 102. So, and we're going to be outside in that heat. It's going to be just miserable. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. A lot of people are canceling like football games and events and all this kind of stuff here. I could see that concert getting canceled due to heat. That would totally suck. But I did pay a lot of money for those tickets and the refund would not be bad. So at least there'd be some positivity out of that. But yeah, so it is hot as balls and driving here was insane. Everywhere in Texas right now is like under construction, I swear. Like the road in front of our townhome is just crazy. The whole entire road on both sides is like completely like messed up. They're redoing the concrete and have torn everything up. So everything is just like down to one lane, and it switches and changes like every few hours, I swear. So you never know which way to go or what lane is going to be blocked off. It's just chaos. So not to be like, oh, my life is so hard, first world problems, but it just sucks. Like the traffic is always bad, and riding a motorcycle is like impossible right now. Not that you can't anyway with the 110-degree heat every day. I'm just sad. This is supposed to be the greatest time of the year, and there's just so much shit. And I almost got in a wreck on the way here. People here drive like assholes, and everyone carries a gun, so you never know. It's the freaking wild, wild west. Who's going to shoot your ass? Yesterday, like last night, Teco and I, John and I, were going to get dinner, and we were pulling out of our complex, and there was a car in front of us, and then us, and then a giant truck pulls behind us, like all the windows blacked out, like giant monster truck looking thing, and just blares on the horn. The light is red. The car in front of us can't go right because there's cars coming, and he is just like, the horn is on, and I'm just like, what is happening? What is this guy doing? So finally the car in front of us goes. We stop because there's cars coming, and he's blaring his horn at us. And so finally there was a break, and we start to go. Well, he tries to go around us and almost hits us. It was absolutely insane. It was like maximum overdrive or something. So of course, me in the passenger seat, like the passenger princess I am. Well, John is just scared of my driving, so I'm forced to be a passenger princess. And he bitches about me being a passenger princess, but then like never wants me to drive because I kind of drive like the guy in the truck sometimes. But anyway, I roll down the window and I just put my middle finger out, just like, fuck you, bro. I'm sorry. I was so mad. And John's like, are you trying to get a shot? And we got in a big fight over it. And anyway, Texas is really fun. So come here for the heat and the great driving and all the construction. Come on down, y'all. The more, the merrier. But I digress. Okay. So let's get into some happier things, like talking about my favorite time of the year. I got a Coke Zero right now. I'm feeling good. Going to dinner with the family tonight. It's going to be a good night. We can get through this. Deep breaths. It does not help that Aunt Flo is coming to town very shortly in just a couple days. So I'm just amped right now. I want to like punch a freaking wall. I could punch a hole through a wall right now. I could. Okay. But let's talk about the best time of the year. It is almost September. Some of my favorite things, I love pumpkin everything. I'm one of those people that like, I will try everything pumpkin and I will most likely love it. Trader Joe's, I don't know if all of you have a Trader Joe's near you, but they have like an insane amount of fall and autumn and pumpkin stuff every year. Maple, pumpkin, just like all the best stuff. And so if you have one near you and you love this kind of stuff, I highly recommend going there once they have their autumn lineup drop. Go and get yourself your fall haul, as we like to call it in basic bitch lingo. There's so many videos online of like people going to places like that and just getting everything pumpkin season. Like they have an autumn harvest pasta sauce, little pumpkin pasta shapes that are really cool, pumpkin raviolis and cookies and beer. I think they even have like pumpkin ginger beer for like pumpkin mules, just everything. And people love making videos about that stuff after getting it. And I love watching videos like that. So if any of you ever go get fall stuff or autumn stuff or pumpkin stuff, whatever, tag me, send it to me. I love that shit. I will never get sick of it. Some of my favorite things that are happening. So like I said, this podcast is dropping on the 29th. So once this comes out, all this stuff is going to be out and you guys can try it. I'm going to let you know some of my personal favorite pumpkin things. So if you're getting coffee anywhere, Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts are two that have like a lot of great pumpkin and autumn stuff. I will say I personally prefer Dunkin' Donuts coffee and pumpkin themed stuff over Starbucks. If you have a Tim Hortons in your area, I'm so jealous of you because that is like my favorite. And obviously they're like super way up north or in Canada or something. They apparently have a really like bomb like fall and autumn lineup as well, but I've never got to experience that for myself, sadly. But Starbucks just announced their new fall lineup for the season, and it is out now, so you can go get yourself some. They have the classic PSL, which is pumpkin spice latte, and you can get that regular. You can also get it iced. You can get it like, you know, kind of fat-free or kind of like tweak it how you want it if you don't like dairy or you want it to be a little less calorie intake. You can definitely, you know, revise that. I will say though, like my palate has changed a lot over the years, and maybe it's because I've tried to cut sugar out so much, which I still love so much. But there's a lot of things they're just like a little too sweet for me these days, and a pumpkin spice latte is actually one of them. If you tweak it a little, I guess, and get like sugar-free stuff in it or stuff, it might be a little different, but it's just a little too much for me. One of my personal favorite fall things from Starbucks is I love their cold brews, their regular cold brews and their nitro cold brews. But during this time, they have a pumpkin cold foam cold brew. So it's like a pumpkin cream in the cold brew, and it is so good. But I will say Dunkin' Donuts has the same thing. And I have to say, hands down, the Dunkin' Donuts one, it tastes so much better than the Starbucks one. But if, the Starbucks was right there, I would not turn my nose up at it. I would totally go get it. And they also have a caramel macchiato or like an apple macchiato. I'm not a huge apple fan. I kind of only like apples in their truest form of an apple. I don't really like apple cider, apple sauce, apple pie, like none of that. I think it's gross, but I love just regular apples. I do also like a hard cider, but I like it to be like a dry cider, not too sweet again. But anyway, they have that, which is apparently pretty good. And something new they came out with this year at Starbucks is it's like a iced chai pumpkin drink, iced pumpkin chai, which I think sounds really yummy too. So I'm definitely gonna have to try that possibly tomorrow. We shall see. And one of my favorite things, and I do love this place, but I don't go often, but in pumpkin season, and it is out starting August 28th, so you can go get it now, is IHOP has the most amazing pumpkin pancakes. I will say I feel like IHOP is one of the first places, at least that I experienced, to do pumpkin pancakes like so many years ago. Like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 years ago is when I first tried them, and they were so good. They put like a dollop of whipped cream on top of them, and you don't even need syrup. They're just so delicious, and they're small, and they're thin, and they're just like the perfect flavor. Now, a ton of other cafes and restaurants do like fall menus and do pumpkin pancakes now. And I've tried them at a lot of places and they're really good, but a lot of places try to overdo it, I feel like, with putting like tons of like sauces and nuts and spices and all this stuff on top and make them like giant and super thick. And I've tried some that are really good, but I have to say my favorites are honestly IHOP. They are simple, they are small, and they are perfect. So if you get a chance to go try IHOP pumpkin pancakes, definitely do it. I will say on the Lex and Terry show that I work on, we go to Springfield, Missouri every year for an appearance. And one of the sponsors of this event we do there, called the Subpar Classic, it's a golf tournament, is Village Inn. And the guys that run it always come and play golf every year. They're super, super nice. And brought pumpkin pancakes out last year because they were like, you have to try our pumpkin pancakes. And they were freaking fire. They were so, so damn good. And it actually made me really depressed because we don't have a Village Inn here in Dallas, at least that I know of. I've tried to find one, trust me, after that. So that, if you have a Village Inn near you, I would recommend getting them there as well. They are super good. So there are some of my favorite pumpkin things. And, I also love pumpkin beer. A lot of people are weird about that, but around this time is when all the Oktoberfest beer lineups come out and pumpkin ones as well. Trying to think of some good ones off the top of my head I could recommend to you guys. I should have really been more prepared. Typical me to not be. But there's one by Dogfish Head that comes out called Punkin, Punkin. And it's really good. That's a good one. What else? Kentucky Brewing or Kentucky Barrel Age comes out with a pumpkin one that's also delicious. One that Ian actually introduced me to in Maine before he even started working on Lex and Terry. When I went down to do a music video, we shot a music video, and he introduced me to Pumpkin Head, I believe it is. Okay, no, it is Shipyard Pumpkin Head, and it is very, very good. And there's another one, too, and I hate even saying this because I am not a huge fan of Sam Adams, but they have one called Fat Jack, and it is so good. I remember that being one of my favorites. Now, I will say there's times when I like amp up one a lot in my head and I'm like, I have to have it again. And then a year passes and I go get it and I'm like, this is not as good as I remember. So, take this for what you will. But I just feel like in general, you can't really go wrong with a pumpkin beer. Elysian also has a lot of really good ones as well. They're a brewery from Seattle and they have a few different ones that are really, really good as well. So anyway, if you see any, go check it out. A lot of beer stores, I know Total Wine and Specs and stuff always have like their seasonal lineups that come out around this time, and everything seems to be coming out early. And that gets me to decorating. I really try to pace myself with all of this stuff because I don't know. It's funny because this all was my favorite time of the year. Ever since I've been a little girl, this has always been my favorite. And I used to think that when I like moved out and like lived by myself one day that I would have decorations up like 24/7, 365. Like it would always be Halloween. It would always be Christmas. Like I really thought I would have this all up. But then I was like, you know what? And if you have it up all the time, like that makes it a lot less special. So I try to decorate early, but I also try to make myself wait like a little bit to really like make it the season and really enjoy it. So my personal rule is September 1st. That is fall to me. Now, obviously, that is not the actual first day of fall. The autumn equinox, Saturday, September 23rd. So it's a little later. But to me, Sarah B's world, September 1st is when fall begins. Now, I do not allow myself to decorate or start decorating before September 1st. So this year is going to be a little different. Every year is kind of, it's just the best time of the year. Like I said, the weather changes. Football is coming back. Fantasy football is starting to happen. Next week, I have 2 fantasy football drafts, one on Wednesday and one on Friday. So we have the big draft day happening on Friday, which is September 1st. I have friends coming in town for that. So I'm going to be very busy that day. The next day is the Karol G concert. So this year, September 3rd, will be my decorating day, and I am so stoked.
Streaming now on Peacock. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are back.
That's hot. Loves it.
For a show-stopping reunion that will prove putting on an opera is anything but simple.
We're really good at this.
One thing's for sure, they won't be upstaged.
Good to have you back. Come on, we've got a show to do.
Paris and Nicole, The Encore, a 3-part reunion special. Streaming now, only on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Now, I have some traditions that I do that aren't like really super firm. It's just kind of how it goes. If the weather is colder, I like making like some kind of mulled wine, which is, I know, really more popular during Christmas and in like Christmas markets and stuff like that. But it has like that feeling, that vibe that just like brings you warmth from the inside out. And when you're making it, like I make it in the crock pot with like orange slices and cloves and star anise and, full things of cinnamon and nutmeg, and it just, the smell it brings to the entire place is amazing. But this year is like 100 I told you guys, like over 100 degrees. I'm not doing that. I will probably have either some pumpkin mules or pumpkin beer or some white wine. That's usually like the trend. I always put on the movie, my favorite, Practical Magic, with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock. I have loved that movie my entire life, and that is my go-to. So I'll either put that on the TV or I'll put on the Practical Magic soundtrack, which is so good, by the way. I recommend it. A lot of Stevie Nicks on there, which is super great, and it just has a vibe for it. So we do that, get all the fall boxes out, which I have so many. Like over the years, I've just been accruing so many decorations. It's just crazy. So I have everything kind of organized between fall, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas, but we'll grab everything out of there, put all the lights up. I have like little strands of garland with like, autumn leaves and lights and those, a lot of pumpkin stuff. I have a doormat specifically for fall. I have one for October for Halloween. I have a Thanksgiving one, and I have a Christmas one. So for the next few months, I will have 4 different doormats we rotate between. It's a vibe, and I love it. And now we've moved into this new townhome where we have so much extra room and space. 3 stories we could work with to decorate. We have a big triple-sided fireplace with a mantle going around the entire thing, and I can decorate that. I'm just so excited. I also, in my years, have collected nutcrackers. I don't know why. I was just like, it'd be cool to collect something. And I really like nutcrackers. And I'm realizing now that was so stupid because I have so many damn boxes of nutcrackers that my entire life I'm going to have to haul around everywhere with me. But it is very special to break those out and put those all around the mantle. That will be so fun. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, I don't know. And normally September through October, I watch all the scary movies, which I love anyway. But we just, go on this tangent of so many scary movies. So Practical Magic is my good, it's fall now. I watch it. I try to make myself only watch it once a year, maybe twice, but it's always at this time, always in September. Another one I really like watching at that time is The Craft. I am a big fan of the original, which we just watched last week again. The remake wasn't awful. I didn't hate it, and I would watch it again for sure, but the original is just such a classic. It's so good. So I don't know. I just love it. And we, John and I have been doing a Scream marathon. I remember my mom got me the movie Scream on VHS when I was in like elementary or middle school. Like, great gift, Mom. But either way, I was obsessed immediately. Like, I remember watching it and I was like, who could it be? Is it the principal? Is it this person? And like, I was just like enthralled immediately. So the Screams were always great. I don't know if that started my like love of slasher and horror films or if that just like helped a hand in it. I don't know, but I love it. So we've been watching all the Screams and I hadn't seen the new one. So we have one more we're going to watch tonight. Also going to watch The Nun again to get ready for the new Nun 2 that comes out in like 2 weeks. This is just the best time of the year. I will say one scary movie I have not seen yet is The Exorcist, which everybody probably thinks is crazy because I like kind of call myself like the queen of horror. Like, I love it. Not horror. So check yourself, please. But anyway, I love scary movies. And that is like the most classic, the most legendary, the scariest. And I've never seen it. I just remember when I was young, like people around me like would change after they saw it. My best friend came camping with us at the lake one summer and she came up and she was being all quiet and weird. I'm like, what is wrong with you? And she said that she watched The Exorcist with her brother and like she was so scared she was going to be possessed or die. And she like literally was not herself the whole weekend. It took her weeks to get over that. And that has literally happened to so many people I know that have watched that. It like changes them. So now here I am, a 35-year-old woman, and I've never seen The Exorcist when I freaking love scary movies. And the funny thing is one of my best friends, Cassie, is the same way. She loves scary movies and has never watched The Exorcist. But there's a new trailer out for Exorcist 2. And I saw that when I was in theaters to watch Oppenheimer. And I got high before we watched Oppenheimer, as you guys know. And when I get high, things are way more scary. Like when I smoke, if I watch a scary movie, like I'm freaked out. Like they scare me anyway. But if I'm like, you know, feeling that, like it really freaks me out. So when I saw that Exorcist 2 trailer and I was high, I was mortified. I was literally looking at John like, why did I just watch that? I want to rewind time. Like, I want to unsee that. It was just so bad. So I don't know. Like, I'm really torn because I want to see this Exorcist 2 in theaters, but I haven't seen the first one. And I'm like, do I continue my entire life to avoid this that I've worked so hard to avoid? Or do I finally give in and watch it? I don't know what to do. I'm very, very torn about this. And I believe Exorcist 2 comes out on October 13th. So I don't have that long to make a decision. Hit me up, y'all, on DMs. Like, should I watch it or should I continue to avoid it? What do you guys think? And I know people are probably like, you've built it up in your head. It's not going to be as scary as you think. But it is to me. Like, I've seen tiny parts of it, like when my dad would have it on TV or something when I was little and I would like scream and my mom would be like, turn it off. Like, you know, it was just like, it haunts me. So I don't know. I'm very torn about this. But either way, so many scary movies coming out. Fall is here, all the delicious pumpkin stuff. It is just the greatest time of the year. I always like to bake stuff around this time too, especially like the first week of like September. I like to bake something just to have the smells in the house, get into the vibe of the season. A couple years ago, I did a fruit bread, like a Mabon bread. And it was just like fruits and spices and it was so good. It was the first time I ever made bread and it was just beautiful. It turned out so perfect. A lot of times I'll bake pumpkin bread or, you know, pumpkin chocolate chip bread. I don't know. We'll see what it's going to be this year, but I must do something. We will see. We will see. Anyway, guys, this is going to be a short one because I have to head to do some other plans. I feel like I've been all over the place today. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just a mess. I'm a mess, y'all. So if you kept up this far, congratulations. You deserve a trophy. Thanks for all the kind words about last week's episode as well. Since I did that one, I've actually gotten a lot of questions, more sexual questions. So it looks like you guys liked that and had more questions, and we'll do another one sometime soon, maybe in the next couple months. I also put out a poll for you guys about how often I should do the show, if I should continue once a week, once every other week. And an astonishing amount of you, it was like somewhere between 70 and 80% said once a week. So I will try to continue that for you guys. I appreciate all the kind words. And I love that you guys are loving this. That makes me really happy. So I really appreciate it. I hope you still feel the same after this week's episode. That being said, I will take breaks when I need, or if, you know, I don't have the content or I just feel like I need a mental break from it. I will take a leave of absence for a week, and I'm bringing that up now because that will be next week. That's why I for sure recorded one today, because I told y'all I have friends in town next week. I have a concert. I have so much stuff going on. Next week is just absolutely chaos. So that will be a week I'm taking off. So this will be dropping, like I said, on Tuesday. You guys are hearing it. I'm going to take a week off, but you can listen to all the old episodes if you would like. Once again, sarahbshow.com. That's SARAH, the letter B, and show.com. And all the episodes are there. You can follow me on social media. You can send in a question or a voicemail if you would like. You know, tell me how you're liking the show. Comment on anything I'm talking about. That would be cool too. I would love to take your comments. Or if you have a question about anything, a suggestion for a future episode, anything like that. Oh my gosh, I need a drink, you guys. It's a day. It's a day. All right. Well, I appreciate you listening. I love you all. Happy fall. Happy best time of the year. I hope you guys, you know what? Try something new. If you're not into fall, if you're not into any of this stuff, just try something. Go to IHOP and have some pumpkin pancakes, or go get a pumpkin beer, or do something. Just do it for me. Just indulge like a little bit, or even just once. I would love that. So anyway, guys, I love you all. Thanks for listening. And 2 weeks from now, we'll have a brand new episode of The Sarah B Show. So be ready. Bye, y'all. Mwah.